they were just gonna put her to sleep, so I decided that it would be best for me to take her.
I'm Erin, and this is Spud. Spud is a mini Australian Shepherd.
My name is Pavan, and my dog's name is Franklin. He's a complete mutt. They found his mother pregnant in a barn in rural Tennessee. We think he's probably got some Australian Shepherd in him, probably some Chihuahua. Don't know what else.
My name is Michelle.
I'm David.
And this is Tuli. Her name is actually tulipanes-rex, which means tulip rex.
Okay.
And but we call her Tuli. Sometimes we call her Tuli Pants. Sometimes we call her Bug. Sometimes we call her Sweet Pea. She has several names.
So the circumstance that brought us together was when my wife and I got married. She always grew up with dogs, and one of the things she always wanted was a dog. And I never had a dog growing up, so I was a little nervous about it. But eventually, we decided to adopt this guy off of a PetSmart adoption finder. And he was extremely cute. They drove him up from Franklin, Tennessee. We had to borrow a friend's truck and drive up at like 3 in the morning to some place in Pennsylvania to get him and bring him back.
I found him from a family who lost their home, and their puppies were living in a shack. And they were like, well, won't check your references for your apartment, so you can just take him. So I was lucky enough to get him, and somehow didn't get kicked out of my apartment when I had him.
I was living in Mexico, and my neighbors had rescued a dog, and she became pregnant and had 2 puppies. And I was walking by their yard one day, and I saw both of the puppies, and I really recognized her because she was just a little troublemaker and into everything. And I thought, I want that dog. So I went to them, and we discussed it, and I gave them a little bit of money for her. And when she turned 12 weeks old, she was mine.
So my name is Gabby, and my dog's name is Winter, and she's a Chihuahua, a miniature Chihuahua. She was from a shelter that I was volunteering at, and no one wanted to adopt a Chihuahua, especially because she has a lot of issues. She has heart problems, and not a lot of people can afford to take their dogs monthly to the vet. So I also have heart problems. So it kind of just made me, I don't know, it made me sad for her, and I felt like we both could understand each other. So, and I think she was a rescue. I'm not really sure her full background story, but I do know that it was really hard. She was adopted once, and they returned her just because the cost was very high. And they were just gonna put her to sleep, so I decided that it would be best for me to take her. Even though I really couldn't fully afford her, but I think my family pitched in a lot to help.
And what's one significant memory that the 2 of you have?
Oh man, so many. When he was about 6 months old, he was off leash, which is why he's not allowed to be off leash anymore, because he ran and jumped off of a wall of a park and landed about 15 feet down, staring up at me like, come on, Mom, where are you? I'm waiting. So he's very adventurous. He always keeps me on my toes, but that was definitely one memory that I got great pictures of the skid marks like on the ground below us because it was snowing. Yeah, he's a very adventurous boy.
We got him when he was 8 weeks old, so he was still kind of a baby. So there's a lot involving poop and cleaning poop, cleaning up after him in the crate. It was like very frustrating in the early days, but eventually they kind of break you because you're so tired all the time from following them around. And one day you'll like turn around for a sec, turn back, assume that he's done something bad, and just see him playing calmly by himself and be like, oh, he's finally learning. And it's like really thrilling to see him slowly learn the rules of the house and like become part of the family and learn to trust you and everything.
Probably one of the most significant memories I have is when we took her to a park out in Virginia where they have this huge waterfall. And she we let her off the leash, but she went out into the middle of this waterfall, flat area where she couldn't get out, and she was sort of trapped out there, and she would have gone down the falls, but I had to climb down there and like rescue her and get her out of there. So yeah, that's probably one of the most significant memories.
Yeah, he didn't even think for a second. He was on that waterfall immediately to get her. When I think I can't love him anymore, he'll do something like that and I love him more.
That's a hard question because we have so many. I think that if I could say one, I had lost a brother recently, and she was the only one who could really cheer me up. She knew how to keep a smile on my face. She kept me distracted. So I think that's the best one that I think I can really describe. She's just there.
He's like something in my day that, hey, stop that, buddy. That lets me kind of forget about, day-to-day work stuff and personal stuff. And you just kind of look at him being happy and just relishing every moment that he's in. And it kind of reminds you about what's actually important and how to enjoy your own life.
I mean, that's sort of cliche, like, the dog is man's best friend. But, I mean, she really kind of is, because she knows when we feel bad, she knows when we feel good,
If we're sick, she can moderate her behavior depending on our moods.
Yeah.
And so we really have a very good bond with her. But then again, she can be bossy too and tell us what to do. So she has her own side of it.
Yeah.
She keeps me strong and motivated to do a lot of things. She gets me out the house, which I don't do much, so it helps. But my bond with her is like very special. I don't think that I could really bond with anyone or another dog as we bonded together, just because I feel like she understands me.
As frustrating as he can be and as hard as it is to have a puppy, especially in an apartment, he is like the best thing in the world. He never lets you be lonely. If you're sick, he cuddles up. He just is the best friend ever. Yes, bud.
Nice.